Hey everybody, Super Ang here, showing you the changes I've made to Ness, which are featured in Project Cal. I'm going to show you this Psykid, what he can do now. So basically, starting off, his jabs were kind of tweaked, basically just to be more consistent. As you can see, they combo now. Before they didn't. Another thing to note is the hitbox on his foot is a little bit bigger. Still kind of hard to hit, but it should be better now at being usable. It's kind of the one thing everyone who mains Ness knows about is hitbox on his foot. We like it, and so it's a little bit better. I'm keeping it. Also the way the jabs cancel into each other was increased from frame 6 to frame 7. So it's not quite as fast. But as you can see, it combos, so no complaints there. His dash attack, basically pretty much the same, just made to be more consistent. Just the way it worked before. It had like a weird 0-degree angle it could send you at. It just was kind of funky, so just changed it to be a little more consistent. As you can see, you can still fall out of it if you space it poorly. But yeah, the angles it sends out feel much more natural and not just as weird. For forward tilt, his damage was reduced by 1%. So instead of 12, 11, 10, does 11, 10, 9. Forward smash. Okay, true story. Forward smash in Vanilla Melee was weird. Basically, the whole bat was its own sweet spot. I mean, the better you spaced it, it did more damage. But the whole bat did the same amount of knockback. I mean, before damage was taken into account. So basically, you couldn't sour hit the bat. If you wanted extra power, you'd tip it, but that just didn't make any sense to me. So the bat now has a weak spot, as you can tell from the sound effect. The damage isn't as crazy. Before it did like 24 damage if you sweet spot the bat, which is more than Marth's tipper, which is crazy if you ask me. So the damage was dropped to 21 damage. The weak hits from 20 and 18 to 14 and 12. And I'll show you in a sec. The reflect bubble on his bat was moved from off of Ness's body to actually cover his bat, which it didn't do before. Even in Smash 64 they had that right. But I guess when you have to make a whole game in a year, you make mistakes. So that was fixed. His up and smash and down smash, they can charge over the ledge better. So basically any ledge they can cover now, which they couldn't before. Obviously you still want to space it so you don't get hit by someone trying to recover. The hitbox on the yo-yo is actually larger as well. And the weak hits of it charging link into itself better. His neutral air, the hitbox on it doesn't linger as long, it expires 2 frames sooner. But in return, it does auto cancel and you can jump out of it a little bit quicker as well. Down air for Ness, which is a move people try to fix. For some reason, actually doesn't need much fixing if you ask me. The one thing that makes this move really good in Vanilla Melee is it could auto cancel really fast. So you can pressure shields and get out of the way. It's kind of like a chic forward air in that regard. And if it does connect, which it can shield poke, it leads into stuff, which is really nice. So down air, really the only changes is you can jump out of it now. Before you couldn't jump out of it in a full hop. and the damage was increased from 12 to 13, but the knockback growth was reduced slightly. So basically, same good move it was before, you can just jump out of it now. It does a little bit more damage. So next up are his throws. Down throw, the damage was reduced from 8 to 7. Forward throw, damage was reduced from 11 to 9. Still is a good spacing throw. Just helps people get out of your face. And up throw, it did a lot of damage before. It used to do 10, now it does 8. And the knockback growth was increased to help people escape it sooner, so it's not as good on fast fallers. And the angle as well was lowered a tiny bit from 90 degrees to 88. So yeah, those are basically all of Ness's normals and throws. So as you might have noticed, there's a little bit of damage being reduced in a little bit few areas, like the forward tilt and stuff, and the neutral air. Basically, neutral air just lingered too long. It felt weird when it connected. But his jabs connect a lot smoother. His dash attack, bat actually makes sense, and up smash, down smash connect better. So yeah, all not like the most drastic changes if you ask me, but definitely quality of life improvements that should help Ness a lot. But now we're getting into the thing that does help Ness a lot with these changes. So back in Vanilla Melee, Ness's side B was absolutely terrible. It was so slow. It had 30 frames of end lag in the air. It was just really terribly slow. It was over a second long. I think the move had like over 100 frames or something. So it was really bad and borderline unusable. I mean, pretty much was unusable, I should say. So let me go into all the changes to PK Fire. Another thing in Vanilla Melee was the spark. The actual speed at which it traveled was really slow. Now it's a bit faster, but it does expire sooner. So it goes about the same distance, just covers it a little bit faster. His let's see. So yeah, basically covers the same amount of distance, just in a quicker time. As you can tell, the speed at which it plays at is actually a lot faster as well. Basically, side B on the ground has less end lag, and I was mixing it up. The pillar, the actual fire pillar in Vanilla Melee was 100 frames long, not the actual animation of him shooting it out. So that was my mistake. But it is faster, so it's not quite as punishable. I think it dropped 8 frames on the ground, and in the air, the projectile used to come out on frame 20, now it comes on frame 16. So that comes out a little bit faster. The actual flame pillar itself, so instead of 100 frames, lasts 65. And let's see. The spark, if you shield the spark, it does a teeny bit of shield damage, which is nice, because it actually goes at a slight downward angle on the ground, so it can kind of poke at your feet sometimes. And let's see. So when the spark hits, the knockback of it was reduced, so it's basically the same as Falco Laser. So if you SDI it, you can escape it really reliably. And before, you could escape the fire just by holding a direction. Now you actually kind of have to try an SDI just a little bit to get out. It's still pretty easy, but it's not as simple as it was before. So yeah, basically the pillar is just better at keeping you trapped a little bit better. So all this adds up to is a projectile that you can use. You can still get punished for it, obviously, but you can, if someone gets knocked down, you can get the jab reset with the fire, which is cool. So from going from absolutely terrible to actually a move that someone has to respect if you land, helps out Ness a lot. I mean, that's kind of what his character was designed around, so when he didn't have that in vanilla melee, wasn't a character basically. So that's all good, well and good, and he can fall. Side magnet in the air just helps him stall a little bit better. And up his PK Thunder, let's see, the actually radius you can turn it around in was tightened up, so it actually can connect sooner. Still is a window to punish, obviously, but it does help the move connect better. Like, helps him lead into his recovery better, sooner, I should say. And just gives you more control over the projectile. And the actual invincibility on up B was increased slightly from frames 1 to 9 to frames 1 to 11. So, not too big of a difference there. But yeah, anyways, basically, Ness he's basically, his normals are pretty much the same as they were in vanilla melee. He just got a better projectile, and his recovery is slightly better. And I think it actually helps him out a ton. I think he definitely might have moved up a few places in the tier list with these changes. So I hope you liked watching and enjoyed the changes I've made to Ness. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.